When you were a child, one summer felt like forever. The days seemed endless. Every adventure, every laugh, every sunset felt like it would last a lifetime. But somehow, without anyone telling you, something changed. Now, Monday becomes Friday, January becomes December, and another year quietly slips away. The clock never sped up. So why does it feel like your life did? Every clock on Earth agrees on one thing. A second is always a second. A minute never becomes shorter. A year never loses a single day. The universe hasn't changed. Neither has time itself. So why does it feel so different? Why did one summer as a child seem endless, while the last 5 years disappeared almost without a trace? If time moves at exactly the same speed for everyone, why doesn't it feel that way? For centuries, philosophers believed time was something we simply experienced, an invisible river flowing around us. But modern neuroscience tells a different story. Your brain doesn't experience time the way a clock measures it. It builds time, moment by moment, memory by memory. And that changes everything. Imagine waking up tomorrow with absolutely no new memories. You eat breakfast, you drive to work, you answer emails, you return home. The day happened. But if your brain recorded almost none of it, how long would that day feel in hindsight? Now imagine the opposite. Your first trip to another country, your first skydive, your wedding day, the birth of your child. Hours seem to stretch. Every detail feels vivid. Every moment leaves a mark. The clock hasn't changed. Your brain has. And hidden inside that simple difference may be the answer to one of the greatest mysteries of growing older. Think back to when you were 6 years old. One walk through the neighborhood could feel like an adventure. A puddle wasn't just water. It became an ocean to explore. A cardboard box wasn't trash. It became a spaceship. A single afternoon seemed big enough to hold an entire world. Why? Because almost everything you experienced was happening for the very first time. The first time you rode a bicycle. The first time you saw snow. The first time you heard thunder. The first time you stayed awake to watch the stars. Your brain couldn't predict what would happen next. So it paid attention to everything, every color, every sound, every smell, every tiny detail. Deep inside your brain, millions of neurons were rapidly forming new connections. Every new experience created fresh pathways. Every surprise became another page in the story of your life. Neuroscientists call this novelty. When something is new, your brain works harder to understand it. It records more information, more emotions, more details. And when your brain stores more memories, looking back, that period of life feels longer. Not because time moved more slowly, but because your mind captured more of it. In many ways, a child's world doesn't contain more time. It contains more firsts. And perhaps, firsts are what make life feel wonderfully endless. But something quietly changes as we grow older. Your brain begins to recognize familiar patterns, and once it knows a pattern, it stops paying close attention. Think about your morning. You wake up. brush your teeth, pour a cup of coffee, drive to work, sit at the same desk, answer the same emails, drive home. Do it all again tomorrow. Most of these moments happen almost automatically, not because you're careless, but because your brain has become incredibly efficient. Every second, your brain receives an overwhelming amount of information, millions of colors, countless sounds, endless tiny details. If it treated every ordinary morning as if it were your very first, it would quickly become overwhelmed. So instead, it learns. It builds shortcuts. Neuroscientists call this automatic processing. The more familiar an experience becomes, the less attention your brain needs to give it. You can drive for miles and barely remember the journey. You can finish breakfast without remembering every bite. You can arrive at work wondering how you got there. Not because you weren't awake, but because your brain didn't need to record every detail. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. Save energy. Focus on what's new. Ignore what's predictable. And that's where something fascinating begins to happen. When fewer new memories are created, there are fewer mental landmarks for your brain to look back on. Days begin to blend together. Weeks become difficult to separate. Months quietly disappear. The clock hasn't changed. Your routine has. And because your brain records less, life begins to feel as though it's moving faster than ever before. Now here's the surprising part. What if you could change your experience of time without changing the clock at all? Imagine two ordinary Mondays. On the first, you follow the exact same routine you've repeated 100 times. The same road, the same coffee, the same conversations, the same desk. By evening, almost nothing stands out. Now imagine a different Monday. You take a new route to work. You try a food you've never tasted. You meet someone new. You visit a place you've never seen before. Suddenly, your brain wakes up. It begins asking questions again. What is this? Why is it different? Should I remember this? Deep inside your brain, networks linked to attention, learning, and motivation become more active. Chemical messengers, including dopamine, help signal that something important is happening. Your brain starts recording more details, more sights, more sounds, more emotions, more moments worth remembering. The clock hasn't slowed down, but your mind has become fully awake. And when you look back days, weeks, or even years later, those moments seem richer, longer, more alive. Perhaps the secret isn't adding more years to your life. Perhaps it's adding more life to your years. And that's when you begin to notice something extraordinary. The same invisible thread has been there all along. It connects the ticking of a clock to the rhythm of your heartbeat. It stretches across crowded city streets where millions of lives unfold at once. It travels through billions of neurons where memories are quietly woven together. It follows the changing seasons, each one reminding us that nothing stays the same, and it reaches far beyond our world, into the silent spiral of the Milky Way. Everything moves, everything changes, everything is connected, not by magic, not by fate, but by countless moments, woven together into the story of a single human life. Maybe time isn't something we lose. Maybe it's something we create, one unforgettable moment at a time. Follow the thread, and you'll begin to see the extraordinary hidden inside the ordinary. For most of our lives, we've believed the same story. That time moves faster, simply because we grow older. But what if that isn't the whole truth? What if the clock never changed? And neither did time itself? What if the real difference is the number of moments your brain chooses to remember. Imagine spending an entire month repeating the same routine, the same streets, the same meetings, the same evenings. Now compare that to one unforgettable week in a place you've never been, a different language, different faces, different sounds, different smells. Every corner invites curiosity. Every day becomes a collection of firsts. When you look back, that single week often feels larger than the entire month before it. Not because more time passed, but because more life was captured. Perhaps we don't lose time as we grow older. Perhaps we slowly stop creating the kinds of moments that make time feel alive. And maybe that's the quiet lesson hidden inside the human brain. Every new experience is more than just another memory. It's another thread, woven into the story of who you become. The first sunrise you watch from a distant mountain. The first conversation that changes your life. The first place that makes you feel completely small beneath the stars. Your brain remembers these moments differently, not because they're perfect, but because they're new, because they ask you to pay attention. Maybe that's why a life filled with curiosity often feels fuller when we look back. Not because the years lasted longer, but because those years were filled with moments worth remembering. The clock measures time. Your memories give time meaning. So perhaps time never moved faster. It was your memories that became quieter. As the years pass, the invisible thread keeps moving. From the child discovering the world for the first time, to the teenager chasing impossible dreams, to the adult building a life, to the elder carrying a lifetime of stories, every step, every choice, every unforgettable moment woven together by the same invisible thread. Maybe the secret to a longer life isn't adding more years. Maybe it's filling those years with moments your mind will never want to let go. So wherever life takes you next, follow the thread. You may discover that the extraordinary has been waiting inside the ordinary all along.